Here we are once again. You're watching Legacy of Leaders. I'm your host, Jamar Suber. And as you already know, I talk to amazing entrepreneurs who inspire us to go higher. And today isn't any different. I'm with Angela McGuire with CARES Justice Institute. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Man, we have had just a few minutes to chat about the Institute. Tell us about your work.
So our work with CARES Justice Institute is, we're a social justice agency, civil rights, and also a racial equity agency that seeks to eliminate any inequity of opportunity for Blacks and people of color. CARES is an acronym for Community Alliances for Restorative Educational and Social Justices. And so our focus is to bring organizations together so that we can work together to eliminate and eradicate this systemic problem.
Yeah. You know, this is such a weighty, heavy subject sometimes. We need more than one show to tackle it, but we're going to give it a shot.
Yes, sir.
So let me ask you this. With so much going on right now, eliminating, programs to keep Black folks out, let's just say, call it for what it is. How has the CARES Institute jumped into that fight? The CARES Justice Institute, how have you jumped into the fight to combat some of these things?
Yeah, so one of the things that we do, we are big on advocacy. So we want to make sure that we're advocating for these rights, the civil rights, the rights that belong to Blacks and people of color. But not only that, we get into the fight as well. As I said, the A in CARES stands for alliances. So we do partner with other organizations to make us bigger and stronger so that we can fight these things. One of the things that we do is a poverty simulation, and so it's called Cost of Poverty Experience. And so we put on trainings that help people understand the day in the life of someone who has to live in poverty. We've also partnered with Partnership for Child Health. We have a program called PLAY. That's also an acronym for Preventing Long-Term Aggression and Anger in Youth. So we work with young people who may be susceptible to anger, who may be susceptible to acting out or behavioral issues. We work with them. We train them in boxing. That's our sport of choice. And then we also give them tools to help them deal with that anger and aggression. So there's an education piece, and then there's also that physical piece where they can get that anger and aggression out. We work with different programs to help them with family stability, and then also college and career readiness, because our passion is education. We want to educate children. We want to educate families so that they do have that equality of opportunity and they have the same opportunities that others have that are not Black and people of color.
Wow, I love the work. Talk to me about the passion and foundation behind it. Where did it come from?
So it came from my husband, who is our CEO and founder, Bishop Mark McGuire. He's out of Dayton, Ohio, and he has an amazing story of redemption and how he was able to combat some of those injustices, overcome, become educated, graduate. He was a basketball star and a professional baseball, well, not professional, semi-professional baseball star. His dad was a professional baseball player, and he went to college but got into some trouble, like so many of our young Black men do. But he was able to not only repay his debt to society, but also come back and show other people how to live out what we want to see. You know, how do you then transform your life? And so he was able to do that, and his passion from that time up until now is to help others transform their lives so they don't have to become and remain a statistic, that they can change their lives through education, through being involved in social justice, through volunteering, through giving back. And that's what he's committed his life to as the founder of CARES Justice Institute.
You know, systemic racism runs so deep. How important do you believe the role in educating the general population is? How important is that?
I think it's extremely important. You know, now in today's world, we don't want to hear about slavery. We don't want to hear about things that happened 400 or 500 years ago. But there's a thing that's called post-traumatic slave disorder. And a lot of us suffer with that. We don't feel like we're worthy. We don't feel like we deserve anything. We don't feel like, you know, Blacks and people of color can achieve or maintain where we see other people. And so, you know, that comes from what's been beaten into us, literally and figuratively, for over 400 years. But we have to work really hard to be able to dismantle that thinking, dismantle that mindset, so we know that we are worthy, and then we have to give our people the tools to be able to achieve on the level that we know that they're capable of.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, you know, I hate to have to wrap this interview up. We'll definitely have to continue it. But thank you for your work, you and your husband, you and the bishop's work. Yes. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yes.
We'll continue this.
I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
As you've heard it right here with Angela McGuire of Care Justice Institute, I'm your host, Jamar Suber. You're watching Legacy of Leaders. And if you want to learn more, tune in to dailynewsnetwork.com. Check us out. So long.